my mission is to gather as many, thought leaders, transformational teachers, educators, coaches, other people who are on a mission to transform lives, gather as many of those as I can around me, and then we'll be a force for massive conscious growth in the world. And that's what's going to help us solve all of these problems.
We each have our own gift to give, and yours is unique.
We are live. Good morning, everybody. Well, I guess we're not. Well, people are coming in now.
We are, yeah. They're pouring
morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it is. It's 8 o'clock in the morning for you, Jay. It
yes,
is
sir.
11 o'clock in the morning for me. It is whatever the hell it is. I guess it would be over in the Europes. It would be what is it then? 5 p.m. right? I think so.
Yeah,
5 in the afternoon.
Let's see where everyone's from.
Yeah, let's hear in the chat, guys, where you're from and what you're excited about today. And then, we have the first, someone's been, oh my God, I love that, Kristen. You have prepared, we've got the first question in the Q&A. So you don't have to, I love, that was clearly a copy paste there. Kristen, you had clearly written that out beforehand so you could get it in the queue. And I love that enthusiasm because we will run out of time to answer all your questions. So if you have a question, stick it in the Q&A right now, right up front. You don't have to write it all out because we're going to bring you on and then we're going to talk, right? So you don't have to, just give us an indication of what the question is around. Let me tell you a story on that. So a couple of years ago, I was at a conference where Gary Vaynerchuk was a speaker. And if you know anything about Gary Vaynerchuk, you know that he always does Q&A, right? He'll do a little bit of intro and then he'll jump straight to Q&A. I was sitting right next to where the mic was. And stupidly, I was like, I don't know what I'm want to ask him. So I'm going to wait to get in line. And I was like, afterwards, I'm like, that's idiotic. Just get in the fucking line and then come up with a question while you're standing there, right? Because you got 10 minutes to wait. And if you get in there, early and first, then you got a shot at bat. And just Gary's always a phenomenal guy to get his thoughts on something from. So I'll come up with a question, right? Maybe something he says will inspire me to ask a question. So definitely, put your question in there. And then when you come on here, you can pivot. You can ask a different question than what you were writing about if there's something else that you're more interested in. So get your question in there. Speaking of Gary, hold on, I'm just gonna do something here so I don't get disturbed. Speaking of Gary, Jay and I and Danielle were on a thing with him. He has a one-day seminar called VaynerMedia 4DS. Or is from Sasha Group. And we were there together a couple weeks ago, and the video recording of that session with Gary Vaynerchuk just came out this week on YouTube. So we are up on YouTube. I forgot to put my swag on. So going forward, I'm gonna make sure that when I do that kind of stuff, I am wearing my something branded so that people can find me. Sydney was pointing that out. Thanks, Sydney. That will never happen again. But yes, that was a fun experience. So topic about here, we wrote, I see we've got people from Denmark, and Kristen says she's at wit's end. Okay. And from San Francisco, from Denmark, Jay. Hey, Jay, that's you, Jay. James from the US. Yes, so mission. I've been working on figuring out, what's the one word that, I'm for and I'm about. It's not, it's a good exercise as a personal brand. And it's something that's always been challenging for me. And I think it is for a lot of personal brands, for a lot of us. It's hard to figure out, narrow it down, what's the one thing? What am I about? Or what's the thing that I can be about for the next 10 years of my life? And so we've had business, entrepreneurship, purpose, passion, success, mission. For Gary Vaynerchuk, again, speaking of him, it was wine, right? And now it's business or social media, hustle has been a word. So what is that word? And right now we're sort of gelling around the word mission. And the reason why is, like, clearly for me, business is not just about, oh, what's the most efficient way to make money, right? That's not what I'm really about. I have a good friend, John. His father, he's a marketer, very successful operator. And his father had a stroke. And so all of a sudden his life priorities changed. And so John decided that he had to find a way to make money where he wouldn't have to be at an office, and he wouldn't have to have a team and manage people and sort of be part of that day-to-day operations. And so he latched onto crypto and NFTs and just investing in the stock market. And so he spends his days just doing that, nerding super much out on these things. And he's made a ton of money doing it. And it's amazing. And for him, it's like the highest leverage of his time to make money. For me, I don't, it just doesn't interest me, right? I might, if I did that, I might be able to make more money with less effort, which is awesome, but it's just not what I'm about. I'm about creating stuff with people, with teams. So that's what I'm excited about. I don't think that's ever going to go out of style, being able to lead a team, build a team, and get everybody moving in the same direction. That combination of creativity and discipline together, I don't think that's ever going to go out of style. That's the thing that I'm passionate about. And yeah, it might be a longer journey, but my mission is to raise consciousness on the planet. I had this realization in 2008 that all of the challenges that we're facing as humanity, whatever they are, crime and poverty and climate change or disease or any of the sort of big challenging issues that we're facing, they can all be solved from a higher level of consciousness. And what I mean by that is that these problems are created by our current thought patterns, our current emotional patterns. And when we change those, then we can find solutions to those problems. That's always the case with any problem that you have in your life, right? You are creating those problems with the current thinking and emotional state that you're in, right? Thoughts eventually become feelings, eventually become like actual physical things in our bodies, like diseases and tensions and all that stuff. And you can work both ways. So you can work on your thoughts to release, you can work in your body to start releasing those tensions and those emotions. And then that starts to change your thought patterns and your perception of the world, right? Your thoughts, your thinking influences how you see life. So when we change how we think and how we are, how we feel and how we behave, and how we just see ourselves, then we can start to change things. And that goes for our own lives. And it goes for what happens, for all the problems that we collectively are creating as humanity. So that's my mission. My mission is to gather as many, thought leaders, transformational teachers, educators, coaches, other people who are on a mission to transform lives, gather as many of those as I can around me, and then we'll be a force for massive conscious growth in the world. And that's what's going to help us solve all of these problems. I don't have the solutions. I have lots of ideas, but with millions and millions of people that are all working in concert to solve these problems, and more importantly, not just focus on the problems, which is what we don't want, but figuring out what we do want and focusing on that and how to make that real, then change is going to happen. That's my mission. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve you in figuring out what your mission is and then getting moving, getting going on that. I really believe that when you feel deeply connected to your mission, it's going to make the world better. It's going to make human beings better. It's going to elevate everyone that you come into contact with when you're clear on your mission and you're living your mission. So that is my word. It's mission. Mission is my word. It's stronger than passion. You can be passionate about a lot of things, but is it your mission? Is it what you're here to do? That's what I care about. That's what excites me. That's what I keep talking about. That's what I'm living, right? Everything that I'm doing, if you go look at Simplero, it's for transformational teachers to create a living doing that work so that we elevate people. I don't care if it's you're doing kettlebells or you're doing deep spiritual healing, or you're just helping people get going in their business and rent their apartment on Airbnb. It doesn't matter. It's all part of the process of elevating people, right? Body meal is the healthiest way that you can eat. Everything you need, nothing you don't. That's the same we say about Sombrero. Right? So you take body meal and you just get healthier and healthier, and your body has all the nutrition that it needs. PAFI and BVA yoga and the whole BVA workout universe is the exercise that you need to be young and healthy, and it, you know, it works your body. You're strong and flexible, and it heals your energy system. It opens your youth portal so you can be young and healthy, and you just get healthier and better every single day. This whole notion that as you get older, things get worse, I don't buy into that one bit, right? Every day you get younger, you get healthier, you get better in every way. That's what I'm here. What's what I'm about. That's what I'm here to serve you in, helping you make that happen. Does that resonate? Like if this resonates, people, say resonate in the chat. I want to hear from you. Everybody, resonate in the chat if this resonates at all. Let me hear you guys.
Resonates with me. That gave me chills. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice. Cool. Right. Brian just hopped on. All right, cool. Nice.
Awesome.
Glad to hear that, guys. All right. So
let's help others on their mission, shall we?
Yeah, fuck yeah. All right, we got some questions in the Q&A. Make sure you drop your question in the Q&A. You don't have to type a whole lot, just enough for us to know what sort of the topic is. And then we'll bring you on in order. Jay is going to manage that piece. And then what else we're going to do? Let me see. Yeah. Type in the chat also, like your top, what your mission is. Type in the chat what your mission is, or if you don't know what your mission is, you don't feel any connection to that, just type don't know, and let me hear from you guys on that. Just share what is your mission, or if you don't know, just type don't know. Let me hear from everybody. Let me hear from everybody. All right. Jennifer, holistic transformation. Love it. Kristen, help people with cancer heal their bodies holistically. Nice. All right. Akua, I want to hear what's your mission. Brian, what's your mission? Doc, I want to hear your mission. James, Jennifer, Luna, Morton, Pamela, Pia, Tona. Let me hear. I want to hear your mission, guys. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Brian, educator in credit and financial wellness. Yes. Hell yes. Super important, right? We're being marketed to, right? We're being marketed to with like instant gratification. You just put it on a credit card and, you know, not helpful. Yeah. Holistic transformation is so important. The helping people with cancer heal holistically, so important. Cancer is so misunderstood, isn't it? PSS help women who struggle with weight and infertility lose weight so they can become pregnant easier. Yes, but not too much, right? Because then that's problematic too. Yeah. Helping people trust themselves by learning how they operate. Nice, Akua. I love that. I would love to hear more about that. That sounds so cool. All right, we got some questions in there. Jay, let's get people on and let's move. Doc says mission to work with non-leaders to help enhance their lives and accomplish their goals. Yes.
Love it. All right, cool. So Kristen, I'm going to go ahead and bring you on. If you're comfortable with bringing your video on, that'd be great. If not, we can just do audio, but here we go.
All right.
Cool.
Tristan, what's going on? Oh, you're muted. Let's get you unmuted. There you go.
Thanks. How are you guys?
All right. Fantastic. Really great. Really great. Yeah. How are you?
Good. Good. I'm new to Somplero. I just signed on a couple weeks ago after testing. I tested 5 different all-in-one platforms.
Right.
Yeah, spent about a month doing all the trials, trying to build. So I'm super happy to be here at Simplero.
Excited. I'm so glad to hear that. Fantastic. I would love to hear more about your experience. Not right now, but yeah, connect at some other point and hear more about that.
Sure,
Yes.
that'd be great.
What can I do for you?
Okay, so in addition to having courses and downloadable meditations, I also still book appointments.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
one-on-one individual appointments, no problem on Simplero. I've got Acuity integrated. It's super easy to get that custom code in the order form, have everybody book on their way to the payment gateway, no problem.
Cool. Just want to make clear, this is not a call for technical questions, right? This is for business, personal growth,
Okay.
whatever.
I'm kind of leading up to something.
All right, cool. Just wanted to set the expectations here.
Okay. There's a problem that I'm going to ask if you can put on your 5-year strategy.
Okay.
Or I wanted to hear about your 5-year strategy. So the thing is that when you're booking appointments, either a package of appointments with multiple people or one person, you can't do it. You have to it gets funny. Acuity can't do it 100%. Simplero can't do it 100%. You're left in this place. And I guess I'm wondering I wanted to hear more about your plans, and if it's possible for you to kind of add this on to your, I don't want to say your mission, but because your mission seems very course oriented, but a lot of us who teach courses also need to bring people together in groups. So
for sure. Yeah. So I'm going to refer you to our product team on this. It sounds like a product question and not a this kind of situation question. Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You bet.
Cool.
All right,
Thanks, Chris.
Jay.
Yes.
Jay.
All right, cool. Next, we got a very broad question from
Can you make
Doc.
sure that we connect Kristen and Kellen, by the way, so that Kristen gets what she needs?
Yep, I'm on it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. All right, next I'm going to bring on Doc. Let's do it.
All right, Doc.
Okay, I just promoted him to the panelist.
What's up, Doc?
Hey, Calvin, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you. How are you? You look like you're breezing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We like it. What can I do for you?
Okay, so I have been with Simplero for several months. Your crew has been phenomenal in getting my ebook into a course.
Was Doc's audio choppy just for me, or are other people experiencing that too?
I can hear him pretty well.
Okay, so it might just be on my end. Okay. It's just like in and out. So sorry, you've been here for a couple months. The team has been, and then you cut out.
Okay, so the team has been phenomenal. They're a great group of people to work with. Outstanding.
Thank you. Love to hear that.
So we put together a quiz. We put together a course out of my ebook.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting people to take the quiz. So what it is.
Wait, now the audio is cutting out again. We're getting people. May have to check if it's my Bluetooth.
Okay.
Now the audio is completely gone here.
I can hear him well.
Hello. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Weird.
1.
Why is that happening? I'm gonna try to change these guys out. Hold on.
Calvin, are you there?
Yeah, give me a sec.
I'm glad you're there, Jay.
I'm still here.
Right.
I hear you loud and clear.
Let's try again. All right, team's been amazing. Something with a quiz, and then
okay. So the context is that for almost 20 years I was a behavioral therapist. And I worked with people's problems. I became a coach and started working with their possibilities.
Nice.
And all of that, the hundreds and thousands of people I worked with, there are a lot of people who are not interested in leadership. They're only interested in loving the people around them, their friends and all of that, but not interested in getting involved in leadership. Yet there's two things that need to take place. One is that their lives need to be enhanced, and they need to still be able to reach and attain their goals.
Yep.
So
yeah.
What we've done is we put a course together. We have 10 key leadership skills. So what's the problem? We're getting people to take the quiz. We have follow-up emails to encourage them to consider taking the course. Only $50 for the course, but we can't get them to get into purchasing the course. What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, it's a good question, right? I mean, that's the whole game is you just don't know until you try stuff and you ask people. So that's what I would start doing. It's just like, hey, like ask people, try to get on the phone with some of the people who took the quiz. Like, hey, what were you thinking? What did you learn? What's your problem? What were you thinking about the offer? Why didn't you buy? Just start to get some feedback and some data, right? Something's not connecting. I will say, I don't know who your audience is. $50 sounds very cheap. It might be so cheap that people are like, I don't really believe that this is going to be value. Like generally you want to sell to a hungry crowd. You want to solve a problem that people have, that they're aware of, and that they're desperate to get solved, right? If they're not hungry, then you can have the best food in the world and they're just gonna be like, sorry, not interested, right? So you have to find people who are hungry, and you have to find out what that hunger is, and you have to connect with that. Otherwise, it's just not gonna work.
Okay, that's worth time. That's good.
Yeah, that's it. Just data. We all make assumptions. We think we know the answers. We don't know anything. Yeah. The market decides, the market tells us. We have to ask, we have to find out, do the research.
All right.
And talking to people.
We'll follow that up and check with the individuals.
Cool. Perfect. Do that. Thanks, Doc. Great to see you.
You too, my friend.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on, Doc.
Thanks, Jay.
All right. Okay. Make sure you put your questions in the Q&A, guys, so we can get them answered.
Next, we've got Jennifer. Jennifer, I'm going to bring you on as a panelist. Let's see. There she is. Perfect.
Start my video. Okay.
Hey, what's up, Jennifer? Great to see you.
Yeah, you too. So I'm having some work done in my house. They just started making noise.
Okay. I get it. We all work from home these days, right? It is what it is. Yeah.
So hopefully this will work out okay.
No worries. Where is it you're located?
Outside of Philly, in a suburb
of
Philly.
Nice. So, not too far from here.
Where are you?
New York City.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. So I mean, relatively.
Yeah. No, not too far. So, all right. So I am in the middle of doing this course called the Evolutionary Healer Circle. Mm-hmm. It's going amazingly. It's for healers. I draw people, I attract people. I'm attracted to people who struggle with various forms of codependence. Mm-hmm. I mean, as a culture, we're pretty codependent, but a pretty codependent culture. But anyway, so I'm working with healers who I don't need to get into all that. Okay, so the course is going really, really well. Yes. And I'm like thrilled they're getting everything I wanted them to get out of it. I did my blueprint and all of that. So the juice that I'm getting from that is that I want to run this course again.
Sure.
And I also want to have something for them after this, as like to keep building community. Mm-hmm. I have another program called Claiming My Voice. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's a general creating community around claiming voice. Cool. And really supporting people to bring their gifts into the world.
All right.
So
so what's the question?
Yeah. So my question is, what do I need? What do I start doing now to get set up to run this course again? You know, what kind of marketing do I want to do now to reach more people, to grow this course? And what do I want to set up for the group that's already in it to come next?
Right. So for the group that's purchased your course to join the membership after is what you're saying. The second question, is that correct?
Well, the second question is to have something for them. I'm toying with some ideas, but something.
Yeah, got it. So yeah, so in order to set up for the next course, two things. Number one, referrals from the people who've taken the course already, right? They've gotten results. They know people that would benefit from this. So really like model for them that's the thing to do. Like, you know, name 3 names and that of people that you know who would benefit from this. You can give them email copy that they can just send to their friends so they don't have to think about what to send. Or you can say, hey, just drop their names and email here and I'll reach out if with your permission and say, hey, so-and-so recommended that you take a look at this, right? And here's what we do for people. So referrals, absolutely. Number 2, start teasing, assuming, I mean, you have a list and not everybody bought, right? So start teasing that it's going to open up again. Share testimonials, case studies, success stories from your current cohort. Video, Facebook, screenshots from Facebook, just things that people write about how awesome it was, so that you're using that success to build, you know, bring you to the second cohort. If you need fresh people into your list, I would start to look at affiliates, but I think you can get a lot out of just the same email list that you already have, because now you have success stories to build on. They've heard about it before. They were like, oh shit, well, I didn't join the first time, I should have. And then they, like, more people are going to join. I think you can have a lot of success there, plus the referrals, which are always phenomenal. And then in terms of the continuity, it's really smart, right? So get them into the course, and then there is a community component, an ongoing component, subscription revenue that people get into after. Absolutely genius. You want to get into recurring revenue as soon as possible. And a good way to do that is just to say, we're gonna like, for those that have been part of this group, there's some kind of discount. You're gonna get the first couple of months free in that community program with so that they enroll, they get the experience, and then you're going to start billing them a little while into it. So, you know, that then you get it started in that way.
You're talking about, when you're talking about continuity, you're talking about a membership site continuity?
I'm just talking about like something where you have an ongoing relationship with your customers, right? So they purchase the course. That's sort of a closed-ended thing. It has a start and an end date, and it's finite. And now you want to have an ongoing, infinite, you know, forever relationship with them, where they pay you monthly or annually, and there's some kind of community component, whether that's on some Plero membership site or a Facebook group. There's, you know, ongoing calls or content or whatever will serve them, right?
Yeah. So can I ask you one more thing?
Sure.
It's about finances, and I was interested in what you were saying about, like, your mission isn't about making money, but certainly, you know, if that comes along, okay, but
we need the money, right? We need the money to pay the bills and get other people to do work and stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. But I heard you that that's not your main thing. But I'm in a different place in life. I'm turning 50 in a couple weeks. And I'm like, I've spent so much of my life coming from a background as a social worker, not having fire around making money, and feeling like it's time for me to feel okay about earning income for the crazy, amazing, transformational work that I do with people that completely changes their lives. So that's where I'm at. So any like encouragement around So like many of us, I get stuck around like asking for more.
Right. Yeah. What's your hang up?
What's my hang up?
Yeah.
Well, it's a little bit of like a universe vicious cycle where I'm attracting people who are like, oh, I can't pay that.
Right.
So it's
because you have, so what's the hang up about charging a lot and getting paid and just having abundance in your life and working with people who can pay and setting boundaries? What is the stories like, oh, I can't do that because, or what's the story?
they're not gonna come. I'm not gonna find them. I know it's deeper than that, but I know it's deeper than that. You're asking me and I'm going,
right.
I don't know.
What's your current price point for the course?
It was $4,500 for 6 months.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what would the next bump up for you be?
I mean, it's just 6,000.
Sure. 10.
I mean, like 10,000. That's just wild. Like, who's gonna pay?
I mean, a lot of people.
Yeah. How do I find them?
Right. I mean, I do it routinely, right? Like 10 grand for like a 2-day workshop just a month ago, 20 grand, 30 grand for various communities that I'm a member of, right? I mean, the people are out there, right? And there are people who would never, like it's just 4,500 for 6 months of, wild transformation is just so little that they can't take it seriously, right? So they wouldn't buy it. I mean, you really do, like, raising your prices is the simplest way there is to attract a clientele that honestly is going to be better to work with, right? They're going to be more committed. They're going to be more dedicated. They're going to be, complaining less. They're just going to pay what you ask and no questions. And they're going to do the work, or maybe not, like, who knows, but generally just it's easier and you get better clients that way. So just raise your price, take a deep breath, and trust in the universe.
How did you make that shift in you to get to that point of being like, yeah, 10,000 for a weekend, and to really trust in your own?
Mm-hmm. It's been a deliberate process for me. I mean, I actually have a copy of Rob Report over there, which is sort of a classic trick. Rob Report is this magazine for the super wealthy and just like luxury homes and yachts and stuff, which it's just that, like, Dan Kennedy used to do tours to super affluent neighborhoods in just to, like, it's that mindset of like, well, if that's the world that you hang out in, then that just becomes normal and natural to you, right? So you want to look at that and just allow yourself to feel what that would feel like. What would it feel like to have that kind of abundance, like private jets and yachts and whatever? You might not be into those things, but what would that look like for you, right? And just even things that you're not necessarily into, just feel what that would feel like. It's not like you're into a private jet. It's just that you happen to have to go somewhere. And like, why wouldn't you fly private? Because you have so much money. Like, it's just the easiest thing, the way to get there, right? So it's that. And then notice when you visualize that, when you imagine that in your head, notice what resistance comes up and just breathe into it and let it go. And just, most of us tend to get fascinated with our blocks and our limitations. And you can go down that path of like the story, and it's because my mom and dad and parents and whatnot. And that can be useful, but you don't want to get to a place where you're arguing for your limitations, right? You want to notice and then release and let go. There's usually, my friend Jerry Colana has a book called Reboot: Leadership and the Art of Growing Up. And there's a chapter there on money. His whole take is that leadership is about maturing. It's about growing up as humans. There's a chapter about money, and like, what is that money story that you saw, that you overheard as a kid when you were like sitting at the top of the stairs in your house and your parents were downstairs and they're like, yeah, but money doesn't grow on trees. And like, my parents would say something like, they had a business partner, and he was, you know, spending, they were making a lot of money and he was spending a lot of money. And they were like, yeah, they live like, you know, counts and barons and stuff. It was like, that was the, that was the phrase that my dad grew up during. He was like 6 when the Second World War started, and grew up during rationing. And that has impacted his mindset around money. So you want to see what those things are, and then just acknowledge, question your beliefs. Baron Katie's work, the work is phenomenal for that type of thing. Super easy. And then consciously let it go, and then just put yourself in situations. Just do it, right? Just change that price, jack it up, charge that price, feel confident, right? Don't apologize for it. And just roll with it, see what happens, you know.
I hear you loud and clear, and I've definitely been on the path that you're talking about. And I also feel like it's so important for me to do it so I can support other people to do it.
Totally, right? Yeah, you have to model for people. Yeah. You have to model for people. Like, and like some of the same clients, and you're like, and they're like, oh, but Jennifer, that's a lot of money and it's too much. And like, who dare you? And they're going to say exactly the things that are going to trigger you the most, right? That's how that works. And then you're just like, you're right. Or I hear where you're coming from. And I used to think that way myself. And here's why I no longer believe that. Or just like, I understand that that's how you see it. I know the values here, and I want to serve you by modeling for you how it's done so you can do the same, right? I've had people that said no to me, and we're just like, here's why. Like, I'm setting this boundary, and I'm like, I'm so glad that you did that, because that teaches me I can say no to people as well in those situations, right? So yeah, show up and serve.
Okay, thanks.
You bet. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. It's so important that we get paid, you know, that we get paid what we're worth, right? So that we can feel really good about serving people, about doing the work out there, right? It's not about ego. It's really not about ego. It's not about like greed or like any of that stuff. It's just about what's a fair exchange of energy here. And that's, it's a completely subjective thing. It's down to you. You get to choose, right? No one else can be the judge of that. They may choose, like they can choose to engage or not, right? But is it fair? It's totally up to you. You get to choose.
Okay, thanks so much.
You bet. Thank you, Jennifer.
I'm taking that in.
Well, I'm glad you asked that. Thank you so much for being here.
Let
really
it
appreciate
marinate.
it, Jennifer.
Yeah, exactly.
That was awesome, Jennifer. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Alrighty, so next we've got Pia. Pia, I'm going to bring you on as a panelist now.
Cool.
She is. Cool.
Cool. We got
some gold right there. That was a really good one.
What's up, Pia? Good to
hi,
see
Correli.
you.
Yeah,
hey.
good to see you too. Hey, I'm a bit nervous though.
It's okay. I'm nervous too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, my problem is that I'm awful at selling, and it's also kind of related to what you just talked to Jennifer about with the mind blocks about the value that you give. I mean, yeah. I know that what I give has great value for the people who get it, who receive it, right. But I'm so awful at selling, and I'm kind of desperate about what to do about it.
Cool. Yeah.
I think
I hear you. What is your price point?
It's about yeah. Well, that's the problem. You see, that's the. I have a Facebook group, and I've tried to do some group session, and the price is way too low, and I still get told that it's too expensive, that people cannot pay.
So I mean, that's a misfit, right? You're just not aligned with you don't have the right audience, and you don't have the right messaging, right? So like when people complain about price, it's always down to like you haven't, either they're just not the right people, or you haven't explained the value, right?
Yeah, I think.
So what is it you offer?
Yeah, I'm the one with the weight loss for the women who wants to get pregnant.
Got it.
And I think that, I mean, women with that wish, I mean, what they pay to go to fertility treatment and adoption and everything. So I'm sure I have the wrong audience, but then I don't really know how to attract the right one so that I can go out and sell. I think it's.
Well, it may be the wrong audience, but it may not be the wrong audience. So I would start by like work with the audience that you have. That's the easiest thing, right? And so maybe they don't believe that. It could be that they don't believe that it's like that them losing weight is actually going to deliver them the result, getting pregnant, right? It may be that they're like, well, but losing weight is hard and I don't really want to do that. And I'm probably going to have to change my diets and habits. Like, it's easier to go to the doctor and pay a lot of money and get them to do some magic thing. And like, we'll hope it works. Right.
Yeah.
Or it may be that they don't believe that they can lose weight or that, so we have to find out what that is. We know from what I hear you're saying, we know that they're willing to spend money to solve this problem. Right. So that's great. That's great.
Well, some of them are. I don't think that the one in my audience are really willing to do that because I think that a lot of them are they've kind of given up. I mean, they say they want to try, and what the ones I'm helping are some of them have to lose weight in order to get fertility treatment. They have to have a BMI below 30 or something. And other of them, they are have been told that they are they don't know the reason why they don't get pregnant, but they're overweight, and if they lose weight, then probably they will get there naturally. The weight is real, but
so if they're not the right people, then you're putting out the wrong vibes, right? You're sort of putting out the wrong messages in order to attract the wrong kind of people. So if you look at like, who would you most want to work with that has the money to pay you?
Yeah.
And for whom this is acute. And like, you probably like, again, if we want to sell to a hungry crowd, right? So they want the baby, great. That's a good start. But have they made the connection to the weight loss thing? Like we have to so you might need to educate them on that. Like the big overlooked thing that's going to nuke your pregnancy before it even begins, right? That's going to like destroy your chances of getting pregnant unless you solve it first, and you got to attack it now. And I know exactly how to do it. And I've got a 3-month plan or like, I don't know how long it takes, but like really, really just like be so confident in your process and your results that they're like, oh, I've been looking at this the wrong way, right? There needs to be some education that makes it super urgent for them to get something done about this. And then you're like, what is this worth to you? How much is it worth to you to be able to have that baby that you've dreamt of for years and you've tried all these things and it's still not working? What is that worth to you? 100,000, 500,000, million? Like, what is it worth? Like really emotionally, right? What would you give up for that? And to have a body that you're proud of at the same time, right? So that you model that for your kid. So your kid doesn't grow up being overweight like you are. Like, what's that worth to you, right? I mean, this stuff is valuable. So you just gotta have to get them to really understand that and understand the urgency that they like, I know you don't want to lose weight. Like anybody's overweight, of course, they wish they would lose weight, but if they really wanted to, they would. So I know you don't want to, but you have to. If you want that freaking baby, you gotta do it. And I've got the method and the process, and it's not gonna get any easier. It's not like, oh, tomorrow or the day after. No, you just have to make that choice. You're going to do it. You're going to be so happy on the other side, so grateful for the day that you made that choice. Don't hesitate. Don't wait another freaking second. You're worth more than that. And your baby deserves to be born and have a healthy, happy mother.
Yeah. I think that, I'm trying to get that message out, but I can see you have more power when you do it, when you say it.
I was going to say you should bring Calvin on as a motivation speaker for your audience.
Right. Yeah, but grab the recording and then like soak it in and play with it. You know, you can play. I've been doing like speaking in front of the mirror just to like find my voice and like allow myself to go out there and be like, have that sort of power when I speak and stuff. So like practice and experiment with it. And again, like, notice like when you do that, when you lean into it in that way, what is that resistance that comes up for you? And then just like, do it anyway, right? And your husband might be like, what's going on over there? But like, never mind. All right. That's his problem. Yeah. And these things get emotional. So if you do it and then you feel like crying, just allow yourself to cry and then just get back into it. Right. That very often happens because our voice is so connected to our sacral chakra and like it'll touch some really deep things in you probably. And one might imagine, right, that the like with you being focused on this fertility issue, that it might even bring up things for you around your own sexuality and your own, like, you know, motherhood or things of that nature. So just be open to that. As you claim your voice, you will probably have some emotional reactions. They may be, you know, there may be some tears. Just soak it in, take it in, enjoy that process.
Yeah. Okay. I'll try.
All right. I love it.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. One thing before I go, I would love to hear. It's just whenever I hear the word "try," like alarm bells go off in my head. Are you gonna do it?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna do it.
Freaking yeah! When are you gonna be in front of a mirror?
Sorry.
Tonight? Are you gonna be in front of a mirror tonight?
Yeah. I actually have a Facebook Live tonight for my group. So yeah.
All right.
So
awesome.
We'll have to practice it before that.
Fantastic. I love it. Thank you so much, Pia.
Okay. Yeah.
Love
Thank you.
It's awesome.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Pia.
Thank you.
All right. Cool. I have a meeting at the top of the hour sharp. So I have to be out of here a few minutes early, but let's see how much how many we can get to.
Yeah, we should have time for one more at least. Okay, Annie, you are next. I'm going to bring you on as a panelist.
Very bright here. Let's see, Annie.
Hi.
Hey, Annie. So great to see you.
It's good to see you.
You've got very colorful hair.
Yes, I do. Which, so my question is, I try to get, well, you just said that, which is stuck in my head, but I coach people around living life on their terms, how they want to go out there and just be all you all the time. And my story, I don't know if you read it, but my story that I tell myself is that nobody wants to hear from me. And
it's a terrible story to tell yourself.
I know. It's horrible.
All right. In what ways, Annie, do you not want to hear from you?
Well, and specifically around coaching, it's like, well, I don't have like, you know, a 8-month-long course. I don't have, you know, the workbooks, you know, I don't have the materials. I just have the information in my head. And so I end up telling people coaching for free. You know, they'll come up and be like, I only date losers. And then I go, well, stop attracting losers. And boom, solved. Be on your way.
Right.
And I'm like, I should have charged them for that. you know, so because it's helpful and I get feedback all the time that I'm being helpful.
So when you have a story that nobody wants to hear from you, what I immediately hear is that that's how you relate to yourself. Right. So you're not listening to your inner voice. You're not listening to your inner little girl, little Annie that lives inside of you. Yeah. You're ignoring her. You're not paying attention to her. That's where you need to start.
Okay.
Start by listening to yourself, really listening, really get in touch with that little girl. She wants to be seen, right? That's why she she colors her hair and she's all about like living unapologetically as yourself and all of that. But I bet that you're not really, she doesn't feel seen by you. You're not really connecting with her and seeing her.
Probably.
Yeah. So, and it's a process, because she's going to be a little wary of you. Like, think of her really as, like, how old do you think she is? Just say a number.
She is totally 4.
4. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
and
at
she
age
talks
4.
a lot, and she, you know, and I know exactly where this comes from. Like, but you know, she's 4. She talks a lot. Hey, shut up and go away. No one has time for all of your chitter chatter. So
yeah. All right. You have time for her.
Yeah.
Give her all the time she needs, and then some, and then some,
Okay.
and just keep talking to her, whatever format works for you. I like the bathtub. I like putting a hand on my belly. I like, meditation, and just really make the intention, make the effort, talk to her, apologize for not listening to her, commit to doing better. Ask her to call you out on it when you forget, because you will. Right?
Yeah.
And just really make that your focus for a bit.
Cool.
Yeah. She deserves it. You deserve it. You deserve that relationship. It's the most rewarding relationship in your life.
Yeah. Well, I love the adult me. It's probably, you're right. I don't like other people's children. So she's somebody else's child. So I'm like, just go away.
Yeah.
So
embrace her. She's amazing. Yeah. Thanks, Annie.
Thank you.
You bet.
Awesome. Powerful stuff. That's amazing, Annie. Thank you so much.
And thanks for coming on and sharing. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty. Okay, Calvin, you have time for one more, or are you gonna bounce on out of here? Okay, cool. All right. Next we've got Ange. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but or Angie, I'm gonna bring you on right now.
All right, Ange.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello. Hi.
Hey, how's it going, Ange?
Oh, okay. Fine. Thank you.
Great.
Okay. So my question is, I've launched a course, which is kind of like a 9-month course, and I'm planning to charge 15,000 for it if they take it up. So they've got like a time limit of 24 hours to take the offer of it's available this day at 15,000, and it's done on a qualification call to see if they're the right fit. So I'm just wondering, when they get on the call with me, should I already have pitched the kind of price point that this would be, or do I introduce it actually on the call itself?
Right. I would definitely introduce it on the call, because you want to give people context around it, right? But here's what you can do. You can anchor a higher price point before they get on the call, right? So in emails or something, and it like anchoring numbers is interesting, because it doesn't even have to be sort of related. You can just like casually mention something that costs 100,000, right? And then that number will sort of be anchored in their heads. You could also say, like, people are telling me that this is so valuable that, it's worth 100,000, but you don't even need to like do that. Just anchoring a high number helps this number seem more reasonable. So I would look at that.
Is kind of in my main messaging, when I'm putting my messaging out there and people are listening to me sort of all the time, sort of seeding the fact that you need to invest in yourself. This, it doesn't come cheap, I think, and that's what I've done in myself.
Right.
But I
would tell some of your own
to
stories of how you've invested way more than 15,000 in yourself, because I bet you have, right?
Yeah.
And even like you can add up, right? Like I calculated that couple, like in 2019, I spent well over $300,000 on masterminds and networks, and on courses and therapy and all these different things combined. So personal growth stuff combined, over 300,000, right? So that's like something you can tell. You can even like just try to add up how much you've spent total in your life, right? Like what that number is, right? And so that's the story you tell, and so that anchors a super high number. So yeah. Totally.
Okay. All right. So just see the fact that it's good, you know, some numbers out there, and then when they get on the call, it just seems much more worthwhile and valuable to them.
Exactly. And anchor in value, right? What would it be worth to you to have this result, right?
Right. Okay. All right. Cheers. Yeah. That helps a lot.
You bet. You bet. My pleasure. Thanks, Ange. All righty. Thank you, everybody. This is super fun. Let's do this again someday. Razan, I saw that you had a question. I am so sorry we did not get to that. I do have a call at the top of the hour, so I have to be out of here. Thank you, Jay, for hosting again. And
of course.
Sydney is here, which is awesome. You guys might meet her at some point too. But yeah, thanks everybody. Have a phenomenal Thursday, and I'll catch you again.
Boom.
Thanks,
awesome.
Jay.
Thanks for joining,
guys. Good job, Jay. Always.
We will be back.
All right. Appreciate y'all.
What up, YouTube? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, even if you freaking didn't, hit the subscribe button so you get more videos from me, and also hit the bell button so you get tick, 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 notified whenever there is a new video from me. Thank you very much. I'll catch you next time.